beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Soso. For those of you who don't know, now you know. If you're new here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification button so you get notified when I upload a new video. If you're an old subscriber, you know how we do, you know what it is. Welcome back.
To win, to fight, to conquer.
Today's video, I'm doing something really important, and I've been getting a lot of questions about Canada of late, and I felt like it's really good to do a video where you know what you should do, or if you're looking to buy a house in Canada, especially as immigrants, you're looking to buy a house someday, you should know how to go about it. And I'm in the home of one of my favorite persons. I call her Sister Maggie. Her name is Sister Maggie Demarchi. She's a realtor, very experienced in the game. So she decided to sit with me on Soso's couch in her house to answer some questions that you may have about real estate or buying a house in Canada someday. So I'm going to leave Maggie to introduce herself.
First of all, thank you, Soso. I am a fan of your videos, of your channel. So I'm Maggie Demarchi. I am also an immigrant. I moved to Canada 20 years ago.
Wow.
This August.
Oh,
was
really?
20 years ago. And to Winnipeg about 15 years ago. I lived in Toronto before, and I came to Winnipeg to do a master's degree in family finances. I'm a home economist, and I did my master's here at the Human Ecology faculty in the University of Manitoba. And I just loved the city and decided to stay here. And I was investing in real estate when I was studying and doing my master's and then teaching at the university. And my hobby and also my investment was buying property. So I learned a lot for 11 years. I saw so many houses, and then I decided I could do this for a living, because I was giving advice to my friends anyways for free. So I said, why not to get paid for that? So I took my licenses and I became a realtor, and it's wonderful. I thought I was born for this because I love helping people. I love helping people to succeed in anything, right? If I can help Soso to succeed in her business channel or anybody else to do anything, even to become a realtor. Sometimes friends call me, oh, I want to be a realtor, and people would think I would say, oh, don't do this, it's a bad business, so I don't have competition. No, I tell, come in, I help you, I teach you what I know, and good luck, the world is open, right? So I really thrive in helping people to be happy and succeed, and I do that, helping people to find a home, a place, a roof to put over their head, and a place that they dream to find, and I love it.
I'm going to have a couple of questions for you, Sister Maggie, in regards to real estate, because I know you're so good at it. I'm going to start with the first question. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
Standing in.
The first question I have for you, which I know a lot of immigrants like myself would probably have. I mean, I'm still so confused, even though I've been like 4 years in Canada. I hope to buy a home someday, but it's really confusing when you look at the internet and you're trying to find how to buy a house, what to do and what not to do. So my first question would be, what is the first step of the home buying process?
I would say it may be biased, but find a good realtor, because your realtor will help you to set a team of people that will help you. For example, the first real step towards buying a house is being approved financially, is to get the mortgage. We call this to be pre-approved. And the people who can really pre-approve you are the financial institutions, bank, credit unions, mortgage brokerage, right? They get all your information. They take a credit report on you. They know how your credit is. They get all information about your job. They really want to know basically three things. They want to know your ability to pay, which is if you have an income, your willingness to pay, which is if you had paid before. In other words, how is your credit rate? And then finally, where is the money? Like, do you have to have a stake to put in the house, like at least 5% of the total price of the house, plus around 1.5 for closing costs. So they want to see that you have in your bank account 6.5% of the total cost of the house. So the first step really is to have pre-approval, but I say find a realtor, because you don't need only pre-approval, you need a lot of things. Your realtor will help you. If you don't know where to start, they will give you references for banks and institutions they work with that they can help you. With the mortgage approval, they will help you to find a lawyer, because the lawyer do most of the work with the after the deal is set.
Yeah.
An inspector who will inspect that house for you, a contractor if you need to do repairs in the house.
Wow.
The realtor will help you to get the team that will help you to find your house, because it's a teamwork. You have a portion to do on the work, and all these other people will have something to do as well. So get somebody that you trust. It doesn't have to be me, I tell people. If you want to work with me, I will put my soul for you. But find someone that you trust, find a good realtor, help them to help you with this team, and get your pre-approval, and you are ready to run and find the house of your dreams.
Wow, that's so lovely. I mean, I didn't know any of these things as well. Wow. Like, so the realtors basically are your stepping stone for finding everything else, right?
In the house business,
that's so cool.
yes.
Okay. The second one would be, how long does it actually take to buy a house?
That's a good question, I have to tell you. It could be 30 days. What about that? You talk to me today. Today is 26th of July. Maybe 26th of August you'll be in your new home. How cool is that?
Wow, are you serious?
But I will give you a little step by step. Let's say that you go to the mortgage broker today. Right? Today is Saturday. If you are dealing with the bank and the person is sit at the bank, they may not see you today. It's Saturday, right? I don't know if you get a appointment today, but the mortgage brokers or the mobile mortgage advisors with the bank, they go to you. So suppose you call somebody, I give you a contact, you call the person, go to your home today. Let's say it takes 3 days for them to go over all your paperwork. So let's say you give all they ask by Monday. By Wednesday, they tell you, yes, you are pre-approved.
Wow.
So after that, they tell you, you can buy until, let's say, $300,000. So you call me and say, Maggie, my budget is $300,000. I select houses on that price range the way you want. Let's say in next weekend we go out, and because you are dealing with one realtor, I can call 10 houses and make appointment for 10 houses in one day.
Wow.
So we go see all those houses, make a decision, pick one. This is the most time consuming step, because we may don't find your house that weekend, and maybe you don't have time during the week. Maybe we go 3 nights during the week, like because you work, right? So let's say it take a week for us to find your house. Next Friday you found your house already, and we make an offer. The offer normally is conditional, so it's conditional to financing and home inspection. Let's say, hypothetically, that we ask 5 days for these conditions to be finalized, right? So let's say you make an offer last Friday, by the other Friday, the deal is set, you bought your house. Now, the lawyer asks at least 2 weeks to process all the paperwork. You can get the house before the end of August, right? Wow. So this is around 30 days. Could last longer, yeah. The bank may ask you something you don't have. They will ask for letter of your employment. They will ask for your pay stubs. Maybe your employer say, I can only give you your letter next week. You know what I mean? So things may happen to delay the process. But basically, that's the process. I had people who call me one day, and less than 30 days later, they had their home, and they were in their home. And sometimes, let's say, you cannot take possession immediately because you want to finish your lease first, and your lease is for the end of September. We can ask to take possession of your house by the end of September, right? By 3 days before the last day of September, you move to a new home, and they give back your apartment that you are rented or something like that. So there are things that can complicate the process. I had people who have looked for house for a year, until they
Wow.
found what they wanted.
Really?
Because it's your taste,
Oh,
right?
true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You may see a lot of house and don't
you're
go to your
confused.
heart. I always tell people, when you find your house, you will know. And I have no pressure to sell people homes. I always tell people, I don't want you go to home every night cursing me for being that home. I want you to go home and feel I'm in love with Maggie because I am in this home thanks to Maggie.
Yeah.
You see, that's a better feeling, right? So no pressure. I want you to see 100 houses if you want, but I want you to feel comfortable that you are buying the house. I am facilitating the process.
Oh my God, yeah, that's so cool. That's great. Wow, thank you so much. Because it's like 6 questions I have, and then I'm gonna move to the third one. I know you like touched a bit on this while you were talking about how long it takes to buy a house, but I really want to know a few factors, like just outlining a few factors that can affect the home pricing itself.
Okay.
The prices, yeah.
The
from
prices
buyer
of
and
the
seller.
house.
Yeah.
It's like a economy 101. Is if there is demand and if is inventory. Like now, for example, the prices are a little high for some houses because we almost don't have houses in the market. We have very little inventory. So sometimes a client calls me and say, I want to see this house. It's priced at $350, right? My budget is $360. So I cannot pay more. I want to pay less than they are asking. But there is only that house like that in the entire neighborhood. If there are 10 families looking for that kind of house, that house will sell for $380, $390. So these last 2 months, I had houses with 28 offers in one house. So the house oversold more than 60,000 above asking price. Another house this week, 17 offers, right? Another house that I went and showed the house to some clients and they said, oh, too expensive. I will probably reduce 60,000 from the price.
Wow.
The house got 6 offers and sold 62,000 above price. So it's supply and demand.
Oh, yeah.
101 economy,
True.
right? If there is supply, good. You fight for lower price, right? If we go see a house and only you want that house, we knock the price down.
Yeah,
But
true.
if there are lots of people who want that house, you better have money in your pocket. If
Get
not,
your
you won't
money.
get it.
You heard her. Get your bag.
So if you want a house now and you are in the $300,000-$400,000 market and you want a 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, there are not a lot of houses like that.
Wow.
So if you want to pay $350, look at the houses that are in the market for $280, $270, and good luck. That's so unfair, but it's the reality.
Yeah.
I got clients frustrated because we go see a house, the house is small. It happened to me last week. One house, I compare with other houses that sold, because I tell you how much the guy paid for the house when he bought, how long he has the house, what work he did in the house since he bought. I tell you all the history, do a big background on the house. And last week, close to San Vital, I found this house and I told my client, the more expensive house like this sold for $365.
Wow.
So this house shouldn't go beyond that. They were asking $340. The house sold for close to $380. I mean, come on.
Wow.
Right? We think it's overpriced, but it's only what you have. You know what I mean? So prices now are, depending upon the house, it's in the top of the market, right? It's a seller's market. Now people say, but we can find some condo really cheap. Condo is awesome. If you want to buy one, you have to understand how condo works. It's easy to buy and it's hard to sell. So just if you want to buy a condo, I help you. There are many good condos out there and cheap, but easy to buy, difficult to sell. Don't expect making money out of it. But houses, you buy now and you sell for more. Yeah. So
It depends on you, really, right?
And the time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 6 months ago, you could knock down the price of any house. Today, it's hard, but it's a great time to buy because the interest rate is so low. It's worth to pay more because you are paying. At the end of the day, you may be paying less or the same because the interest rate is so low. So that's why people are just putting money out there and getting the house. Doesn't matter the size of the fight. So if you want one, let me know.
Sure, definitely, sure. The next question that I have for you is how do you have to pay an agent to buy a house?
That's a fantastic question. The person who pays the agent is the person who is selling the house.
Oh.
So if we go and when an agent like a realtor like me make a contract with a seller to sell the home, we agree in an amount of money, a percentage of the value of the house, they will be to pay commission of realtors, right? So if I am representing the seller, whatever he's paying my brokerage will be shared between me and the realtor who brings the buyer. So when you are with a realtor representing you as a buyer, the seller is paying that realtor, not you. It will come for the amount of the house, the price of the house, right? The proceedings of the selling of the house. The lawyer will collect, the lawyer will pay, okay, this goes to the brokerage, and the brokerage who represents the seller share with the broker who brought the buyer. And this is all under contract, so you as a buyer have no influence on that. What you have to think is how much you are willing to pay for that house. The rest is their problem.
My God, are you serious?
Yes, I work for free every day of my life.
No, but because, it's funny because, I know I'm not ready yet to buy a house, but I've been like, okay, in the future, and exactly why I'm doing this video, because in the future, I would love to own a home in Canada. And I know a lot of people, especially immigrants, would love to own their homes in Canada. But I've always thought that I would have to worry about paying the agent that's working for me. The realtor because every time I hear realtors, I'm like, big money, big money, big money.
Big house, big price, big money. But it comes to you indirectly because I work for you. I try to knock down the price of that house the most that I can, right?
Yeah.
I will be paid for the sold price, but I am not working for me. My duty is to work for you. So I am representing you as a buyer. I have to knock down that price.
Yeah.
And whatever the house sold, I will be paid.
Wow.
By the seller. So no worries for you.
That's good to know. Seriously, good to know.
There is one occasion when you could pay me. Let's say that you want to buy a house that is not for sale. And you tell me, Maggie, I want that house. I go knock on the door of that house and say to the owner, look, I have a buyer for your house. I say, okay, I sell, but I don't pay anything. So I have to negotiate with you under contract that you would pay me if they sell. So let's say you want to pay $350 for that house, right? And the guy actually is willing to accept even less. So I try to negotiate to lower that price. So you will pay less than what you want to pay, so you will have money left over that you wouldn't mind paying me.
Oh, great. Yeah.
I will work for you. Like I tell people, I work for free every day and I work for you. Because if you decide not to buy the house, I worked 100 hours with you and what I got paid?
Nothing.
0. So I work for free every day.
Wow.
Until you buy a house and hopefully the other guy will pay me.
Yeah. Wow, this particular one was a shocking revelation for me. Seriously. I would never ever have thought. Like you said, it comes indirectly, but just knowing that it's not a factor that you generally just have to think about, like, this is what I've got to pay my agent.
Yes.
That's like a relief for me
Yes.
right now. The next one is, I have a lot of friends I know who are not even thinking about their credit score as of right now. And of course, I'm planning to do a separate video on why you need a credit card and credit scores in Canada. But This question for me, I would definitely ask it. It was the first question I wrote down because I know it affects a lot of things. Like credit scores affect your entire life in Canada, for what I found. So how does credit scores affect buying a house, and what kind of credit score is needed to buy a house?
That's important topic to discuss, and that it does require a full video because, you know, I tell people, if you don't have credit, you don't have a credit card, you don't have credit history, you do not exist in this country. The truth is this. Write that
Please,
down.
can you repeat? Because it's like they don't know. Repeat what you just said.
If you do not have credit history, you do not exist. I am sorry to tell you that. You are not born yet.
Write it down.
So credit score, basically what they do is they, you know, I'll give you an example. Some time ago, you could have cash. Cash is king, right?
True.
It is. Cash is king in your pocket, in your bank account. But if you come to me with a bunch of cash to buy a house, it's red flag. Cash is no good. You come with cash, you think we're a drug dealer, right?
Unclean money.
Oh, unclean money, money laundry. Put in the washing machine and wash there, right? No. If you have money in the bank, if you have credit, if you borrow money and pay back, that's what makes you a worth person,
A worthy person,
individual, because your word is worth it. You borrowed and you paid back, right? So that's make you to be a person
responsible.
I know this is kind of funny way to say, it doesn't sound good, but in reality, this translating, this is what it is, right? So when you get here in this country, think that you could do that could help you when you are ready to buy a house. First of all, get a credit card. But I would say, they won't give me a credit card, I don't work. Okay. If you won't be able to have a credit card now, what you can do is make sure you get one of the 3 items that I mentioned. Your willingness to pay, check your willingness to pay by looking at the history of how you have paid in the past. So get a credit card and make sure you pay on time. Never be late. Pay a few days before. Always pay the entire amount that you borrowed. Exactly. Do not pay only minimum payment. Pay everything. Only borrow what you can pay at the end of the month or at the billing time.
Yeah.
Right? If you do that, in 3 months, you show good credit history. Never borrow more than the credit that you have. Like if they allow you $10,000 of credit, don't spend $10,000 of credit. Spend 5, right? After 1 year, whoa, your credit score is perfect, right? So just do that. The other thing, let's say you pay rent every month. Pay directly from your bank account. So every first of the month, a certain amount will come out of your account. If your financial institution later needs to use an alternative form of credit or an alternative form to see if you're a good payer, they will check your statements of your bank account and see that every first of the month the rent is coming out. You can do that with some institutions. Look into that as an alternative credit. Alternative way to check if you are a good payer. I hope this helped. It's a good tip for you who is planning on starting.
Sure, it definitely helps. But is there any certain like a kind of credit score you need before you can buy a house?
After 600.
Oh. So I can buy a house now?
Sure. You have to remember the third question is, first of all, you have to have willingness to pay, which is the credit, but you have to have a ability to pay. You have to prove you get income that is 4 times more, let's say, of the amount they're gonna have to pay monthly on your mortgage. And you need to have money for the down payment. You have to have the starting amount, right? So show that you have. So do the math. If you want to buy a $300,000, what you maybe want to buy a $200,000. So show you have $10,000 there, and you're in for the game.
True. Our next question was going to be actually about down payment, and you mentioned it. So talking about down payment, How much do you need for down payment?
At least 5% of the amount, the total amount of the house, right? Now, there are today institutions that lend you the down payment. So you may see a few advertisements, 0% down. Actually, they are lending you the down payment, right? So try not to do that, my advice, but hey.
Thank you so much so far for answering all our questions, and I know a lot of people would appreciate all this information that you're giving out. The last question is, are there like different ways to buying a house in Canada?
Well, there is other than the conventional way that we spoke about. You tell what you want to pay, you make an offer, you get the agreement, and you wait for the time, the lawyer do the business, and you get the house the conventional way. You can have a rent to own, for example.
Exactly.
Right? Rent to own, you make an agreement of purchase, let's say the more conventional one. You get the house now that you're gonna buy to live in, rent it, that you will buy 3 years from now. But you make the agreement to purchase today.
Okay.
Like with your rental agreement. And you pay with the rent an extra amount that will make later the down payment. It's like you are saving money inside of your rent to a down payment in the future.
Oh.
If everything goes right, it's perfect. It worked. The problem is, if anything goes wrong, the person at risk, the person that will lose, it's you as a buyer, right? Let's say that you are paying $1,500 every month. $1,000 is rent, $500 is this saving for your future down payment.
Oh.
In 3 years, if you, for some reason, you didn't get the approval for your credit in 3 years, or whatever reason happened that you cannot buy that house, all those extra $500 belongs now to the owner of the house. So you let go of that. That's just roughly an example. That's why I tell people, if everything goes right, perfect. If anything goes wrong, you are the only one who loses. So
Wow.
are you really ready to do that?
So, in essence, it's better to consider the conventional way of buying a house than anything else.
Yes, I agree with that. That's what I would think. That would
Wow.
be my advice.
Okay, I think that is all the questions that I have for you, Sister Maggie. Thank you so much for doing this with me, and thank you for giving your house for us to shoot this video. Is there anything else that you would like a future homeowner to know, if a person looking to buy a house in Canada in the future, something you want them to know?
Well, I would say definitely take care of your credit. Don't do anything that is irresponsible with your money. Do your homework. Keep always informed about what's going on in the market. Find somebody that you trust. If you think about buying a house, you can always call me. I'm Maggie, the key to your home.
You heard her. You heard her. When I told her in the beginning to introduce herself, she was trying to be, do the humbling thing. She didn't really say much. But now that we're done with the questions, I'm going to do the introduction of this person again, just in case you are looking to contact her in the future. If you're in Winnipeg, is your realtor just for Winnipeg or the whole of Canada?
Manitoba. I have
Okay.
sold houses out of the city all the way to Steinbeck, to Portage-la Prairie, and lakes in Manitoba, around Winnipeg. And if you want to buy a house in other areas of the country, what people do, people call me even from other countries. I have sold houses to people who have never been in Canada.
Wow.
They were coming.
She's good. She's good. I mean, I've seen houses like from people that I know that I would be talking to them about their houses and they'd be like, Sister Maggie sold it. And I'm like, I know her. Like, she's my friend. You know? I'm like, I've seen houses she sold, guys, and she's really good with the job. Again, her name is Maggie Demarchi for La Page, right?
Royal Page Dynamic, and I speak
Royal
Portuguese and Spanish if you need, and if you want information. Like I said, I have sold house for people who were not even here yet because I helped them, and when they got their visa, they wanted to come, and some of them arrived here with the house bought already. It's a tough process, but I help. I give you instruction and I help you through the process. I have lots of people from different countries who are my clients, and I am here to help. And people call me from other areas. Let's say if you want to buy a house but you are in Ottawa, I find somebody in Ottawa and send that person to you.
Wow, that's
right?
so cool.
Or in Vancouver or anywhere in Canada. It is about house, call me and I will guide you through.
Thank you so much, Sister Maggie, for doing this. If you haven't subscribed yet, push that subscribe button down below. Turn on your post notifications so you can get notified when I upload a new video. Other than that, this is all we have for you guys today, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.